So some people have asked me why theater, and I think that for the sake of this blog, it's a very good place to begin. So let's start at the very beginning. A very good place to start. That's a Sound of Music reference. Okay. You might have already noticed the shirt that I'm wearing. I got this at Georgia Thespian Conference in 2004 when I was in high school. And the theme of the conference that year was why theater. So my reason? I felt happy there. I could explore the most exhilarating aspects of life and also some of the scariest aspects of life with little to no fear. And on the other side of that was always some sort of healing for all involved. The theater was like a sanctuary for me, and the rehearsals and the performances were like a communion with other people. Now, I wasn't able to articulate that at the time. I was probably one of those kids who responded because it's fun. But in any case, this gig has always pulled at my heartstrings. Now that that's settled, let's get to the acting. First, a definition of acting. My favorite definition of acting is from Sanford Meisner. His definition was, acting is living truthfully under imaginary circumstances. It's no news that what we do on stage is not real. Audiences come from anywhere and everywhere with a willing suspension of disbelief. That's just part of the form. Our job as actors is to find truth in these make-believe moments so that we can be the best vessels for these stories. How do we do that? That's the million-dollar question. I usually start off with the material. I simply read it out loud and see what moves me. Perhaps the words of the character or even the description of the character remind me of something in my own life. For example, I had to audition for a part where the character had a previously scarring relationship with someone, and because of that, she could not accept a proposal from a new person in her life. I've been in friendships and relationships that have not been very pleasant, and they have definitely shaped the way that I interact in relationships beyond that. So I accessed those past moments for me and allowed myself to use them, and it opened up a well of possibility for me. And because of that, the character became less of a character for me and more of a human being. We had a connection. Now, there's definitely way more to it than that, but it's definitely a start for you, honestly connecting to your character. Perhaps you find that your character has a fascination with numbers, just like you. Or maybe your character has a rocky relationship with a sibling, just like you. Maybe your character likes to wear the color blue, and that's your favorite color. Whatever it is that you can find to relate to your character is very useful. So, of course, the next question might be, what if I can't find anything? More often than not, and I would argue probably 100% of the time, your character is more like you than you might think. After all, we're all human. We all have likes, dislikes, desires, pains, joys, and frustrations. Your joy might not result from the same thing as your character's, but it's still joy. It's like finding common ground with a new acquaintance. And it's going to become handy as you build a relationship with your character. So, acting is living truthfully under imaginary circumstances. You are the conduit for this story. So whatever it is that you can find, whether it's something that they wear, something that they do, something that they say, find that and hold on to it. Everything that you can find about your character that you can relate to is going to help shorten the distance between you and the character, eventually getting you to the point where you and your character are very, very similar. One thing that I learned at the Yale School of Drama, I did a summer program with them, and one of our mottos was acting as the color purple. The red was your character, the character that you read about in the play or the movie or the TV show, and you are blue. And it's your job to get to a point where you can mix all of that together, find so much common ground, and relate with your character so much that now everything that you do on stage is this beautiful conglomeration of you and the character, which is the color purple. Not the musical, just the color purple. So that's our job here. Thanks for tuning in this week. Tune in a couple of more weeks and I'll have some more insight about my method and how I dive into my character's world. Right? Toodles. Toodles? Who says that? Ciao.